we go. 10 steps to success. Today, we're talking about step number 8, which is learning the biz. Okay. So let's just do a quick recap of what we've got so far. Step 1 was our motivation. It was defining our why. It was putting the fuel into the rocket, right? Without your why, you're not getting off the ground. You got to have a why. You got to have a reason why you're here so that you can get through the ups and downs that come with entrepreneurship and being part of something bigger than yourself. Second, of course, was now launching, right? Launching your biz, which basically meant, okay, hey, I'm announcing to the world, here I am, and I'm going to start figuring out who I'm going to talk to, who I'm going to introduce this to. I'm going to start setting up my platforms, right? My social media, all the different ways that I'm going to start communicating this to people and the process of getting going, right? Third, of course, is setting your goals. And now that you've launched, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, right? To accomplish that long-term goal of my why. Number 4 is staying committed. It's realizing that you're setting those goals, but sometimes you're not going to hit them, right? And sometimes things are going to come flying in your face and you're going to have obstacles and it's not going to be easy. And so you're committed, rain or shine, sickness and health, doesn't matter. I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm going to keep going, right? Step number 5 is the personal development and the ability to grow yourself so that you can overcome those obstacles, so that you can stay committed, so that you can become better and be that person who can achieve more and more things with your resources that you have. Step number 6, right, was all about being connected, staying connected, being plugged in, because if you're not close to the campfire, if you wander off, you're going to get cold, right? If you're not recharging on a daily basis, your phone is going to die. The battery's going to be gone and you're not going to be able to do anything. You got to stay plugged in. You got to stay warm. You got to stay close. You got to be there with all the latest stuff going on. If not, you're just never going to be powerful enough to accomplish what you need to in a we'll just say in a quick way, right? If you want to do it long term, okay, stay away from the fire. But if you want it to go fast, you got to stay plugged in. And then the next thing, of course, was what we learned last week, step number 7, all about learning how to invite people and have the surety and the posture and the confidence that we have the cookie, we have the answer, we have the solution, and we care about people. We love them. We want to provide them with a solution to fight back against the headwinds, to be able to do all the things they need to have a better life. Okay. So now step number 8, to be able to do this in the most efficient way possible, to be able to have the most success, is we're going to need to now learn the biz, right? Because now as we start to invite people, okay, we're now going to get questions, right? So this is how the logical flow of this is. We're now inviting, we got posture and we're sure of everything, but people are still going to have concerns. They're going to have questions. They're going to have doubts. Maybe they're going to be like, okay, what about this or that? They're going to have objections. And so as we learn the biz, we're going to be able to answer those objections and we're going to be able to tell the story in a way that overcomes those objections and helps them to make a decision to be part of the team. So the first concept that we really need to understand with all this is that leveraged income, it really is simply better. Okay. We talked about in step 1 the difference between being on the left side and the right side of the cash flow quadrant, and why leveraged income or residual income is so much better in so many ways, because it's not limited, right? And as Eric Worre talks about in his book Go Pro, it really is a stone cold fact that we have a better way, right? We just got to go tell the world about it. Okay, it's not that it's perfect, but it is just better in so many ways. And like Jim Rohn always taught, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Okay, and that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about being entrepreneurs. We're talking about taking things into our own hands and not being dependent on others, right? We're dependent on a job or a boss. right? Obviously you can use that job to be able to sustain yourself while you do this, of course, right? I'm not saying quit your job and, go crazy trying to figure this out on your own, right? There's some people that are good at that, but most people depend on having some kind of a fixed income or, a static income while they build their business, right? And that's totally fine. But the goal is to eventually to be able to break free, right? And be able to be completely and totally independent and on your own and be able to go way beyond what you normally could in just a normal everyday career. All right. So let's understand about what makes it legit, right? So again, Eric Worre, network marketing isn't perfect. It's just better, right? For all these different reasons. So, you're obviously not having to deal with employees. Okay. You're not having to worry about high overhead, right? Buying a franchise or opening your own business and all the expenditures that go along with that, right? There's no special degrees that you have to have. There's unlimited income. It's not based on just a certain amount. There's tax advantages. There's time freedom. There's the ability to learn and progress and be better. So there's all these reasons why this model can be so good. Now, people that join it with an expectation that's unrealistic, that they're going to become, they're going to be rich overnight, right? They're going to be an overnight success. Well, yeah, that's why people say, oh, well, that was a scam or that was a pyramid scheme or whatever, right? Because they're expecting the get rich quick model. And that's not what this is. This is all about just being an entrepreneur and building up a legit, real business, a company that's going to allow you to earn money while you sleep, right? So, one of the things that you have to point out to people, because you'll get this objection, is, oh, what? Well, isn't that a pyramid scheme, right? Well, here's how you tell the difference. In a pyramid scheme, participants may be asked to buy and sell some products, yeah, or a service, right? But there's more emphasis placed on recruiting new participants who are required to pay a fee or make an investment, right, to join. Okay, that's the whole focus. It's not it's not legit because there's no retail selling. It's not something that just an average person would want to be part of without having to recruit other people and and create the income based on that, right? That's the main difference. And so if you're looking at a true direct marketing company that's legit and legal, then the company is it's paying its participants for selling its products and services. And then if you recruit others, then that's great, right? You can earn more money, you can leverage it, but it's not strictly required of the members. Okay. So that's how you can tell programs that are all about getting rich quick, or that are all about having to work offshore because in the United States, maybe that doesn't work so much. You got to do it offshore or whatever because the rule. Well, there's rules in place and laws in place for a reason. They're to protect consumers, to protect people who maybe don't have experience and all that. So just be careful, right? And know that a true network marketing company is legit and real and valid as long as it has a real product or service that actual customers, actual retail people, normal people that have want anything to do with doing the business side of it would still want to be part of and participate in. Okay. So that's really fun. Now, the other thing is that a lot of times I hear this, right? Is the pyramid objection is they'll say, oh, well, don't you know that, if you go 3, 9, 27, 56, whatever, and it goes all the way down, by the time you get to level 13, you've overcome the entire population of the planet, right? You're past a billion people or 7 billion people or whatever. So it's a pyramid scheme. It's not legit. It's impossible, right? Well, a couple of things that you can address with that. Number one is that we aren't dealing with a static number, right? It's not like there are just 7 or 8 billion people and that's all there is on the entire planet and that's all there will ever be and they're all staying the same and all that. No, right? What's happening is every single day, nearly 12,000 young people turn 18. So if they say, oh, well, you're going to run out of people, that with your pyramid. Well, you know what? The answer well, yeah, that's true today, but hey, tomorrow there's going to be 12,000 new people I could go recruit because they just turned 18. And then the next day there's going to be another 12,000 people I could go talk to, right? And then the next day there's going to be another 12,000 because they're all turning 18 all the time, right? People are being born and people are dying every single day. It's not static. It's an ongoing dynamic thing, right? And you don't need to have a billion people in your own downline to make good money, right? And so the other answer to that is that people say, oh, well, you're going to run out of people. There's too many people. Well, guess what? Not everybody wants to make $1 million a month, right? Not everybody even needs to make $10,000 a month. Some people would be just pickled or tickled pink to be able to make a couple $100 a month, right? Like if we could, oh yeah, that's all I'm interested in. If I could make $200 to $500 a month, I'm good. I'm golden. That's all. That's my ambition, right? That's as far as I want to go. It's okay. So you don't have to have everybody making $100,000 a month. No. Can it be done? Absolutely. Right. If you want to do it, you want to go do it and you want to take the time and you obtain the skills and all that. Is it possible? Absolutely. Because of the fact that nearly 12,000 young people turn 18 every day, you could go get them. Right. Like logically, you could. Okay. You need to, not necessarily. Right. Because we don't all need to make $1 million a month. Some of us are okay with just an extra thousand. It's fine, right? So there's all different levels in what we're doing, talking about just different levels of ambition and needs and wants and desires. Okay. But the possibility is there for those that do want to go make $100,000 a month, could do it because there is actually enough people on the planet that would want to be part of it. Okay. So don't fall for the pyramid scheme thing. There's just some answers on how you can overcome that objection. Now, the other side to this is understanding that we have a 5-star company, right? That's what you want to look for in an opportunity, okay? Because there's literally thousands of different things you could be doing, different companies you could be part of. And what it really comes down to is, for me, if I want to be, the most successful I can and have the most and quickest results, then I want to look for a 5-star company versus a 2-star company. And what are the 5 stars? Well, it has to do with, first of all, the company itself and the resources of the company and the training and all that, right? The infrastructure of the company. Second has to do with the leadership and mentoring that it's offered. Okay. The third thing has to do with the products and services that are being offered. And the fourth thing has to do with the compensation and how the compensation reward plan works. And then the fifth thing is about the timing and when you're getting involved, right? We're going to talk about each of these. So, company and resources, right? Unfortunately, in our industry, there's a lot of companies that don't do it right. They don't have enough money. They don't have enough, maybe corporate talent. They don't have enough people in customer service. They don't have whatever it is, right? They're not able to scale and be able to take it to the next level, right? And so you want to always look and see who's behind it, what's their background, what's their vision, what's their experience, right? What they're putting together, how much money they've got to be able to run the thing. Are they just, laden with debt or what's going on? What's maybe some past experience they've had, right? You got to be really careful with who is behind it, who's running the thing. A lot of companies, unfortunately, out there that I've seen that I've been invited to recently are people that are in a different country like Dubai or something, right? And they're they got a past criminal record and and I go to the person recruiting me, I say, you're crazy. Why would I ever join a company where the people have past criminal experience, right? And they've started all these different, pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes and stuff, and now they're just trying to do another one, right? And they're using questionable tactics and all that stuff. No, Why would you ever join something like that? You know, it's just going to collapse in the first year, right? It's ridiculous. So you want to look at all that company resources. They have marketing material. How's their website? You know, all those different things, right? It's huge. And so if you can find a company that's doing it right, that's built everything, that has money in the bank, that has the experience and all those things, and is going to provide you with the tools that you need to be successful, all right, there's the first star that you want to look for. Second part of that is the enrollment and onboarding. Okay. So you got to learn, this is part of learning the biz, is learning how to not only enroll somebody, but to onboard them. Right. And so that's on both sides of the coin. That's the corporate side needs to provide the tools and the training and everything. But we as entrepreneurs and leaders that are bringing people on board, we need to show them. We need to be able to train them on how to do it correctly. You don't just sign somebody up and then you're done, right? No, you continue to work with them to go through these 10 steps we're talking about so that they can be successful as well. Okay. So you got to learn all how it works. You got to learn the system. You got to learn how to enroll somebody, how they get involved, how to download the app on their phone, all those different things, right? So that you can make sure they're successful. You got to learn the back office and systems that the company provides. You got to go in and learn, oh, here's where I find the documents and videos. Here's where I find my commissions. Here's where I find all the different parts and pieces of what you will need, all the tools that you'll need to be successful, right? So don't just think, oh, okay, I've signed up and I'm just going to go tell some people about it. No, you've got to go in and understand what's in there, what you've got in your hands, and take advantage of all these resources that the company provides. Okay. Now we talk about the products. Okay. So the products is so important. We've got to be a product of the product. That is a key thing, right? So if we just jump in and go, okay, I'm going to start sharing this with people, but we actually haven't used the products ourselves, we haven't tested it, we don't have our own testimonial of the product, then it's not going to work, right? Because part of the whole recruiting process is to be able to say, I know this works. I know this will work for you because I've used it. We have the cookie. We have the solution. We have a thing that will absolutely work for you because, and I know that because I've used it myself. My family has used it. My friends have used it. My neighbors have used it. Look at how awesome this is, right? And whether it's e-commerce or fintech or travel or whatever component of the full product suite is being talked about, right? You need to know it. You need to know how it works. You need to know how to go into the travel portal and book a vacation. You need to know how to go into the store and purchase things, right? You need to know how to use the banking fintech piece of it all, right? And how to use your or get your commissions and transfer them and whatever. All those pieces of it, you need to be aware of it. You need to understand it. You need to train yourself on it or ask your mentor, your leader, how it works so that when somebody else comes and says, hey, I don't know how to withdraw my commissions, I don't know how to place an order, I don't know how to book a vacation, you can show them, you can teach them, right? That is all about learning the biz and knowing it and being a product of the product. So that's the next star on our list. Then you have leadership and mentoring, right? This is super, super important. If you don't have the right kind of leaders, then you're going to be in trouble, right? If you have people who, maybe they're really good at speaking or being on stage or whatever, and they've got the gift of gab. Well, that's okay, but that's not the kind of leadership we're looking for, right? We want the kind of leadership that's the servant leadership. We want the kind of leadership that is mentoring, somebody that's going to work with you and onboard you and teach you and recognize you and spend time with you. That's what we want, right? We want people that actually have, there's no ego involved, right? It's not all about them making the money, right? And that's the only reason they're here. No, we want people who are going to be with the full vision of the company to help people and to actually lift people up and take care of people. So if you have that, if you have that kind of leadership and mentoring, oh my goodness, there is another star you can put up and say, yeah, this company's legit. Okay. Then we talk about compensation and rewards, right? And this is important. It's important to know how you're getting paid, right? It's important to know what requirements you have to be able to rank up, right? To go through the different levels of leadership and increase your earning potential by accomplishing the different requirements, whether that's certain amount of people that you need to have on your team, certain amount of sales happening on your team, or whatever it is, right? There's different compensation models out there. But you need to understand it. You need to understand the requirement to have customers. You need to understand how the structure works. You need to understand what you need to do to move on to the next level, right? And be able to teach your people as well how that works. And then of course how the rewards programs work and the loyalty program and how you can use that to maintain loyalty and maintain retention and all those things. So if you can understand the comp plan, at least at a basic way, then that's awesome. Now, some people are very detail oriented and they'll want to know every single detail, every single little, what if that, what if the other, what about this scenario, right? And that's okay. That's great. Some people love that, but it's not completely necessary, right? Just like you don't need to know how every component works in your car to drive it, okay? If you know the basics, oh, I have an engine and I need to put gas in it, and there's an electronic component to it. And if I turn the key, and the brakes and the accelerator and all those different, parts of it and the steering wheel, you can drive, right? And that's all you need to know. You don't need to know where the spark plugs go and how to change your own oil and all that stuff, right? To be able to drive. Some people like that. Some people do want to know where the carburetor is and all the different things and how to change out their brake fluid and all the stuff, right? But the majority, you don't need to be an expert on the comp plan to be able to be successful, but it is good to know at least how to drive, right? And know the basics of what you need to do to move on to the next rank. Okay. And then of course, the final piece is all about the importance of timing, right? Because some companies will have a great comp plan, but you know what? They're already 50 years old and everybody's already heard about them. And, so like, it's not exciting anymore, right? Or some people might be brand new, just getting going and they've got a great comp plan and their product's amazing, but their corporate infrastructure is crap, right? They don't have anything going for them, and their platform is just a dime a dozen, or they might have a great corporate team with lots of money and their comp plan's amazing, but their product is non-existent, right? Their product is just air, right? And so the timing's great and the comp plan's great and the leadership's great, but their product is the worst thing ever, right? So there's all the different pieces, right? All 5 stars are important to be able to be successful in this. And if you can find a company that legit has all 5 stars, then you're going to be successful. So in conclusion, we need to recognize what makes a 5-star company, from the company and resources, leadership, product, compensation, timing, and then understand those, learn them, right? Learn the product, learn the compensation, learn who the leaders are, learn all about the company and who the founders are of the company and their background and their vision and why they're here and all those things. And then if you have that right timing, knowing that the company, right, going back real quick to this, because companies do go through that formulation stage and then the momentum stage and stabilization. So if we know that we're coming in the beginning, right, before it goes into momentum or right as it's going to go into momentum, then it's like riding that wave to success. Okay. It's not always a guarantee, but it definitely helps, right? So as Jim Rohn says, let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. And then his final quote: if you don't design your own life or your life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not. So my friends, let's go do this. Let's take this into our daily psyche, right? What we're doing. understand the importance of the 5-star company, understand that we really are in something. It's not perfect, but it's better because it's just more fair. And then understand these 5 stars and know that we are in the correct place at the correct time and that it's going to make such a huge difference in our lives. So with that, I'm going to end for today. Thanks so much for joining me, and we will see you all next week for step number 9, which is all about being a leader. So have an awesome Saturday, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.